Yo guys, what is going on? It is your boy Hollywood Steve back with another video. Alright guys, in today's video, I'm gonna be reviewing Monday Night Raw. So let's dive right into things, shall we? Monday Night Raw opened up with a recap from the ruse of the century at SummerSlam with Seth Rollins cashing in his Money in the Bank contract on CM Punk. That was followed by LA Knight and Seth Rollins from last week, and the interference from Seth Rollins and LA Knight from last week, and the interference of CM Punk costing LA Knight the match, and then Roman Reigns getting laid out, and Bronson Reed stealing Roman's shoes yet again. This was followed by Michael Cole saying that Naomi was not medically cleared to compete, as reported on WWE socials. And where are we at here? So CM Punk officially opened the show, and he said he was a little bit angry that it was not that he is not the world champion, and Seth is failing miserably at trying to be CM Punk. He said that he promised to regain the world championship. He said Seth followed in his footsteps, and he pretended to be CM Punk and pretended to be injured. Punk promised Seth and Punk promised that to get his title back, let me read that again. Punk promised Seth that he would get his title back, and he promised the fans, the WWE Universe, that he would do that as well. Then he also promised that he was going to break Seth's legs. Then CM Punk was interrupted by LA Knight, and he shook Punk's hand. Knight said Punk deserves his rematch, but he said he understood, but not to do it on his time. As Knight and Punk were going back and forth, Paul Heyman interrupted, and Punk challenged the Brawns. Heyman said if they wanted a tag match, then they got it. Then we got a recap of Dirty Dominic Mysterio defeating Dragon Lee with the help of the El Grande Americanos, and AJ Styles trying to jump Dom, but he escaped. Then we had the Judgment Day in their clubhouse. Dom brought El Grande Americano, aka Ludwig Kaiser, into the clubhouse and said he's using him for his advantage at Triple Mania next Saturday. Then we got AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus El Grande Americano and Dominic Mysterio. Dragon Lee hit a suicide dive. Dragon Lee hit a suicide dive kick to hit. Let me try that again. Dragon Lee hit a suicide dive to kick things off. to kick things off. That was followed by Dirty Dominic. That was followed by AJ and Dom starting the match, and AJ getting the tag. And after Dom got beat up for a while from Dragon Lee, Styles and Lee and Styles got. Hold on, I am losing my spot here. I am all over the place, guys. I am so sorry. I am losing my spot here. Okay, so let's back up here. Dragon Lee hits a suicide dive to kick things off. That was followed by AJ and Dom starting the match, and AJ getting the tag. And after Dom got beat up from Lee and Styles, Dominic got the tag to El Grande Americano. Styles and Lee double teamed El Grande Americano. He rolled out of the ring. Dom came in and got hit with a power bomb by Dragon Lee. El Grande Americano and Dragon Lee squared off, and Lee was looking to capitalize. He did for a while until Dirty Dom got the cheap shot and drove Dragon Lee into the steps. Dirty Dom had his mask on as he and Dragon Lee went at it. Dirty Dom pulled off his mask and yelled to the crowd in Montreal that he is the king of the luchadors. El Grande Americano was going for a Hurricane Rana, but Dragon Lee had it scouted and hit the stomp on the chest of El Grande Americano. Dragon Lee was looking for the hot tag to AJ Styles, but Dom ran around and pulled Styles off the apron, and that made AJ chase Mysterio around the ring and throw him into the timekeeper's area. As El Grande Americano and Dragon Lee were still in the ring, Lee delivered a German suplex and a super kick. Lee got the hot tag and AJ came in like a house of fire. And and he and Dragon Lee hit a nice combo monkey flip into a Styles clash, but as Styles was holding Dirty Dom down on the mat, Dragon Lee, so he could holding Dirty Dom down on the mat so Dragon Lee could get the win. El Grande Americano interfered again, knocking Dragon Lee off the top rope, allowing Mysterio to roll out of the ring, and Styles hit a kick in the midsection of El Grande Americano into a reverse neck breaker for a 2 count. Americano begged off, and Styles went after him, but El Grande Americano got on the apron and hung Styles on the rope. El Grande Americano went to try to steal his El Grande Americano went to put the metal plate in his mask, but he dropped it, and Dominic was on the floor. Dom picked up the metal plate, Dirty Dom put it in his mask, and headbutted AJ. We'll see. Let me back up here. El Grande Americano got on the apron and hung Styles on the rope. El Grande Americano went to try to put the steel plate in his mask after delivering a German suplex to AJ to Styles. AJ went for the cradle pin, but El Grande Americano pushed AJ right into Mysterio, who was on the floor, and he had just picked up the steel plate that El Grande Americano had dropped. Dirty Dom put on his mask and put the metal plate in his mask, headbutted AJ Styles, and El Grande Americano got the roll up for the win. So that was your opening match. It was actually pretty. It was pretty good. It was It was good. It was nothing really like super crazy, but it was overall, it was good. Then we got a video from earlier on in the day with Sami Zayn walking into Adam Pearce's office and asking him if he'd made a decision about the World Championship match at Clash in Paris. Pearce said he had said no, he had not, and Sami said, "Look, I know that you have a lot on your plate." Pearce told Sami that he would talk later. Then Sheamus walked in, and Pearce said he couldn't have a repeat of next week. Sheamus agreed, but said as soon as Sami's match against Rusev was over, he wants a piece of him. Then Adam Pearce was backstage with Io Sky, letting her know her match with Naomi was canceled because Naomi was not medically cleared for their match, so that match was not happening. The Judgment Days, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez walked up and said it was a good thing that Io was not fighting Naomi because she would have to lose to her again. But Io said that she had come to fight, so Pearce made it official that Roxanne Perez would take on Io Sky later on. Then Sami Zayn versus Rusev was next. Sami hit an Arabian press from the apron, a la Sabu from ECW. Sami hit a tornado DDT. Then Rusev got control of the match and went for the Acolyte, but Sami got out of it with a series of elbows and got a roll up for a 2. Sami hit the Exploder suplex in the corner. Rusev countered and hit a series of 10 beats of the Bowdrin, or his version of the 10 beats of the Bowdrin on Sami. Sami was able to counter a second, to hit a second Exploder suplex, hit Rusev a second time with an Exploder suplex, but as he was going for the Haluva kick, JC Mateo, Tonga Loa, and Tala Tonga made their way down, and Solo pulled Sami out of the ring, getting him some payback after Sami had picked up a win at SmackDown. On SmackDown. And Tala Tonga delivered a pump knee to Sami, and Pearce and the WWE officials came down and pulled Solo and the MFTs off of Sami. After the interference of Solo and his crew, Sheamus came down, and he and Rusev went at it again, fighting through the crowd. Then as Solo and his crew were leaving the arena, as Adam Pearce was on the phone with Nick Aldis, the SmackDown GM, and telling him that he can't keep having this. This has got to stop. You can't keep having Solo and his crew interfere on Raw. It's got to stop. Then the New Day and Grayson Waller walked up and said that Penta needed to be stopped for taking Woods' nearly $12,000 hat last week and nearly decapitating him with it. So Pearce made a match for the championship, and on the next made a match for Woods and to face Penta next week. Next up was Becky Lynch putting her Intercontinental Championship on the line against Maxine Dupree. Becky just straight up bullied Maxine Dupree. Almost immediately within like 5 minutes into the match, taps out to the Disarmer from Natalya. Let's see. And Maxine Dupree tapped out to disarm her. Natalya came to the aid of Maxine Dupree post-match, and Becky kicked Natalya right in the head and ran out of the ring and left the ramp left the ring and was yelling back up the ramp, "I'm the champion. I'll always be the champion." Then we got Jackie Redmond backstage interviewing Lyra Valkyria about Bayley, and before that though we had a little video package from Bayley, a very vulnerable video package from Bayley, and just saying she's not sure what she's gonna do, where she's gonna go from here. It was really a different side of Bayley. Then Jackie Redmond was backstage interviewing Lyra Valkyria about it, and she said she stood by what she said last week to Bayley about it being her fault that she can no longer challenge Becky for the Intercontinental Championship, and she meant what she said about them going their separate ways. And then she walked away. Then Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, the Oracle, Paul Heyman, and the Braun Brawns, the Vision, were backstage in their dressing room, and Seth said he trusted the Braun Brawns to take care of CM Punk and the LA Knight problem, and he would see them on their jet later. Then we had Io Sky backstage, and Stephanie Vaquer walked up and said that she is sorry that Io is not fighting Naomi, and Rhea Ripley walked up and pretty much said the same thing. But also, Rhea Ripley walked up and said she was sorry too that Io was not able to wrestle Naomi. But then she asked asked Io if she was sure she could trust Asuka and Kairi, and Io walked away even more. She yelled something in Japanese and walked away even more frustrated. Then we got the main event of LA Knight and CM Punk versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, the Braun Brawns. LA Knight made his entrance first, followed by CM Punk. Lastly, Big Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker, accompanied by Paul Heyman, made their entrance. Then the Braun Brawns started the match, jumping Punk and Knight before both could take off their jacket and t-shirt. But it did not take too long. Not too long into the match, the momentum and control of the match shifted to CM Punk and LA Knight. So not long into the match, the momentum and control shifted to CM Punk and LA Knight, who seemingly worked really well together. Breaker and Reed regained control of the match and slowed down the match in their favor for a little bit. LA Knight and Punk regained control of the match, but with a distraction from Braun Breaker, allowed Bronson Reed to hit a splash into the corner to LA Knight. Braun Breaker hit a patented clothesline from the apron on Knight, sending him over the announce table. LA Knight finally got the tag to CM Punk just as Punk was looking for the GTS, though. Rollins ran down and beat down CM Punk. But then it didn't take long. Jey Uso's music hit, and out came Jey Uso. Jey Uso came running down with a chair in hand and took out Reed. Then as all the chaos is happening in the ring, Adam Pearce walked out and said it would be easy for him to come out here and be angry and upset about everything. He said Seth is a liar, a master manipulator, and he disrupts main events. And he said he and his buddies were out here trying to injure their fellow superstars. Pearce said he was not going to be angry about it, but he said he sees it as an opportunity. So Adam Pearce made it official at Clash in Paris. It will be main event Jey Uso, LA Knight, CM Punk, and Seth freaking Rollins in a fatal four-way for Seth's World Heavyweight Championship. And after that in division, Jump Knight, Punk, and Jay after Punk and Knight went to blows, Braun Breaker rolled out of the ring and hit his and speared LA Knight in half. And Bronson Reed hit a Death Valley driver and a tsunami on Jay, and Rollins hit a stomp on LA Knight, CM Punk, Jey Uso. But before delivering his stomp to CM Punk, Seth got in the face of CM Punk and said he as long as he is breathing, CM Punk will never be world champion. And that was Monday Night Raw. Again, really not much. Really not much to speak of as far as Monday Night Raw goes. Monday Night Raw lately, I will say Monday Night Raw lately has been blah. It's not been as good as SmackDown. I'll tell you that. It's not been good as SmackDown. The El Grande Americano story, this thing with Punk, Rollins, Knight. It's great. LA Knight is in the title picture. It's awesome to see that. I'm very glad for LA Knight that he's in the title picture. But that's what all of Monday Night Raw has dealt around. It's dealt around division and just constant interference in matches, and frankly, it's like, okay, let's start having a good quality show here. Not to say that Raw has not been good. It has been good, but I'm getting really tired of Seth Rollins. I'm getting really tired of this whole Vision story. I'm getting really just I've about had enough of it already. I'm ready for the story just to end. Let's get to an end point. I don't even know what we're doing in this story. What is our end goal here, guys? What is our end goal here, WWE, with Seth Rollins and the Braun Bronze and Paul Heyman. What is the end goal here? I don't even know what the end goal is. What are we doing? I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't even know what we're doing. To be honest, I don't even know what this story is. I don't even know. Is it just Seth? Just I'm guessing it's just Seth wanting to keep CM Punk from challenging, from ever getting a shot at the world title, because he can't stand the guy. And the story is so old. I am so done with this story between Punk and Rollins, and I'm so over it. I love Seth. I love the guy. I love the guy, but this heel character, I don't get. I don't understand it. I guess it was all about. I guess it was all about absolute power with Seth and the Braun Bronze and Paul Heyman. I guess it was about absolute power, and now they have it with the world title. But I just don't. I am so over this story. I am so done with it. I am so done with this story of CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and the world title picture, and that's awesome. That's awesome. Jey Uso's getting a shot at the title in a fatal 4-way at Clash in Paris. That's great. That's great. But this CM Punk, Seth Rollins storyline, end it. Make it come to its miserable end. What are we doing? I don't understand. I don't know what we're doing here, WWE, with this. But anyway, that's where I sit with that. I just don't know what in the world is going on with this story. I am so over the story. That is Raw's main focus right now, is this story between Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and the world title. That's the and Becky Lynch. I'm so tired of. I'm getting tired of this. Of these characters. I'm getting. I love the WWE. I love wrestling. I don't want you guys to think I'm not. I don't love wrestling. I do. It's just right now these character arcs. I don't. I'm over them. I'm over the entitled champion moniker that is the women's division. I'm tired of the entitled character that Becky Lynch is, that Becky is so insecure that she has to have a title, that if she doesn't have a title, it's the end of the world for her. And there's nothing that she can do except have a title. And just the whole insecure character thing is old. It's getting tired. I want to see some more fresh stuff. Freshen it up, please, WWE. But that's where I'm going with this. Where I started with this was that Monday Night Raw, it was good, but also it was just another meh episode of Monday Night Raw. It was just another average episode of Monday Night Raw. But it was good. It still was good. It just was average. Average episode of Raw. You know, Seth did his thing. We had the El Grande Americanos doing their thing. Dom doing his thing. I love Dom. I love Dom. You know, Becky's doing her thing. My question is, though, what about the tag titles? What about the tag team titles? Why are they not being defended every week? Why aren't the Judgment Day coming out every week? And you know, why aren't the Judgment Day coming out every week and, you know, saying how they're the, you know, saying how they're the best tag team out there. They're the best thing in the world. They're the best tag team in the world. They've, you know, they're better than the New Day. They're better than, you know, I mean, why aren't they coming out and doing stuff like that? Why are they in the clubhouse with the titles in their clubhouse? Why are they not? I know what you guys are going to say in the comments, but they're on TV every week. Yes, they're on TV every week. But the titles should be being defended, or at least made mention of. And the tag titles are not being made mention of. Are not being made mention of at all. But anyway, that's kind of where I'm at with Raw, but it's good. Monday Night Raw was another good average episode. I will catch you guys in the SmackDown review. This is your boy Hollywood Steve, same name, Hollywood Steve. It's for life.